Imagine carrying a weight so heavy that it shapes every aspect of your life, yet it remains invisible to those around you, a burden that has been passed down through generations, ingrained into the very fabric of what it means to be a man. From the moment you are born, expectations are placed upon you, expectations to be strong, to succeed, to provide, to endure, and to never show weakness. This is not a burden that can be easily set down. It is woven into your identity, an unspoken rule that governs how you move through the world. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself who decided that this is what it means to be a man, and more importantly, what is the cost of carrying this weight alone? The burden of masculinity is not new. It stretches back through centuries, embedded in history, mythology, and psychology. The ancient Greek hero Achilles was praised for his strength and courage, yet his greatest tragedy was that he could never escape the fate that had been assigned to him. He was a warrior, and that was all he was allowed to be. The same can be said of men today, taught that their worth is defined by their ability to fight battles, whether in the workplace, in relationships, or within themselves. Psychologist Carl Jung explored the concept of male archetypes: the warrior, the king, the magician, and the lover. These archetypes represent different aspects of masculinity, each carrying its own responsibilities and struggles. The warrior is expected to fight and never back down. The king must lead but often stands alone. The magician seeks knowledge but must remain distant. The lover desires connection but is told to suppress his emotions. Every man embodies these archetypes to some degree, and yet each one comes with a price. Think about the lessons boys are taught from a young age. Don't cry, be a man, man up. These phrases are not just words, they are commands that shape the way men experience the world. They create a silent contract, one that dictates that a man's value is determined by his ability to withstand. But here is something important to consider. What if the way we define masculinity is the very thing preventing men from being their strongest selves? What if true masculinity is not about suppressing emotion, but about learning how to navigate it? What if it is not about proving worth through suffering, but about finding meaning in growth? Psychologist Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust, once said, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This is the key to overcoming the burden of masculinity. Not by rejecting it entirely, but by reshaping it into something that empowers rather than restricts. Imagine a world where men are taught that strength is not about hiding pain, but about confronting it, where they are encouraged to seek support instead of suffering in silence, where they are not defined solely by what they can provide, but also by the depth of their character, their kindness, their emotional intelligence. This shift is already happening. More men are beginning to recognize that they do not have to fit into a rigid mold of masculinity. They are creating communities where openness is valued, where emotions are acknowledged rather than suppressed, where strength is defined not by how much they can endure alone, but by how willing they are to grow and evolve. And so, the question remains, how do you define your own strength? Are you carrying a burden that is no longer serving you? And what would happen if, instead of trying to carry it alone, you allowed yourself the freedom to share it? In the final part, we will reveal the most powerful insight of all, one that has the potential to not only redefine masculinity but to reshape the way you approach life itself. Stay with me, because what comes next is the most important revelation of all. For too long, men have been conditioned to believe that their value is measured by what they can endure. They have been told that they must be the providers, the protect,